Welcome to Taishi's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how you can eat young bracken or young eagle fern. So as I showed you in the video of horsetail, in Japan we eat quite a lot of wild vegetable. And this fern is also another type of that. I don't recall this seeing in a supermarket, so you just have to go pick them yourself. But you can find this pretty much almost anywhere throughout Japan. But also this is native to America, Europe and Asia, so this may be something that you can easily find where you live. So this type of fern is called bracken, or also known as eagle fern. They look like this when they're fully grown, but we only eat the young sprouts, young seedlings, when they come out in the spring, and they look like this. And here's a little clip where I went to pick these. So here we have the brackens. So these brackens are too far grown. I'm going to try to find the premature bracken. So like this is perfect, or like this, or like this is also perfect, or like this. So you want to try to find bracken that is kind of premature like this. You also want to pick like the top 20-30 centimeter because the bottom part gets tough and fibery. And this place is further down the road from where I picked the horsetails in the forest. So I'm going to try to find a spot where they have a little more premature bracken. Somehow this part of the area has a lot more premature bracken, and I'm going to pick these. And this is the bracken leaf from last year. So I picked for about 5 to 10 minutes now, and I think I got quite enough. So today I'm going to show you 3 variations of dishes using this bracken. 1, cooking together with rice. And 2, a very common dish where you soak this in dashi sauce. And 3, very lightly stir fry with sesame oil. Then, let's get started. Here are the ingredients to cook with the bracken. Here I have the bracken that I picked earlier in the day, and we need to prepare this first. Supposedly it's not good for you when you eat them raw. It can give you a little diarrhea, so don't ever eat this raw. We're going to need to soak this in hot water with baking soda or baking powder. Somehow the sodium carbonate in the baking soda is going to take away the bitterness and make it edible. And cooking with the rice, I have a cup of rice and a strip of kombu. And cooking with the dashi sauce, I have here the dashi powder and soy sauce and sugar. And frying, I'm going to use the sesame oil and a little bit of salt. Then let's start preparing the bracken. So first we're going to wash the bracken. So the bracken, they have this kind of like hair on them. Kind of want to get them off, and they also come out of the ground, so it might be that they have a little dirt on them, so we want to get rid of that. I'm going to try to make this fit in the container. So you want to use a Tupperware or something, some kind of container that is heat resistant, that can withstand the heat of boiling water. And then in this I'm going to put in the baking soda, baking powder. When I measure this is about 500 grams. For 500 grams of bracken, you want to put in about 10 to 15 grams of baking soda. This is 16 grams, so I'm just going to use all of it. Doesn't hurt to put too much in it. And then in here I'm going to put in boiling water. And you want to put so much that everything is all soaked under the water. And then you can use like a small plate like this to push it so that they stay underwater. And then I'm going to cover this with a lid like this. And then I'm going to let this sit for about 24 hours. Then let's go to the next day. So a day has passed. This has been soaking in this water for about a day now. So let's wash these. So you want to make sure you wash this good, because you don't want to taste the flavor of the baking powder. So you want to wash this at least like 2-3 times until the water becomes clear. And then what you want to do is you want to squeeze the water out of the head part, like here. You want to make sure you squeeze out all the water. Like this. Then this is finished preparing. Let's start cooking. Then let's separate this into 3 parts. So I don't think I'll need all of it. So some for the rice, some for frying, and some for cooking with dashi. Then if you have some leftovers, then you can just soak this up in water again. like this, and then you can store this in the fridge for about 5 days to a week. Or if you want to eat this later in the year, then you can cut them up in small bite-sized pieces and put it in the freezer. Then you can just kind of defrost it whenever you want to eat them. That's also possible. Then let's cut these up in bite-sized pieces. For the one with dashi, just kind of like that kind of bite-sized piece. And also, same goes for the frying. And for the frying, you want to separate the top part and the bottom part because you want to fry the bottom part a little longer than the top part. Then for cooking with rice, I'm gonna cut them into smaller bite-sized pieces. Like so. That's done. I'm going to prepare the rice. So in a bowl, I'm gonna put in 1 cup of short grain rice. And I'm first gonna rinse this. So you kind of want to rinse this with water like this. For those who have seen my videos already, then you know. So you see that the waters get fogged. So you want to get rid of this water. And then you do this a couple more times. So as you can see, the water's got pretty cleared. Then I'm gonna drain this one last time. So once the water has been drained, then I'm gonna throw away this water and then put this back in here. So in here, I'm gonna put in 1 cup of water, but in this, I'm going to be using the water that I've been soaking up kombu kelp since last night. As you can see, the kombu has grown and you can see this slimy gooiness from the kelp. A lot of people kind of underestimate the importance of soaking kombu kelp in water for overnight. But it makes a big difference giving out this great umami. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this water. And I'm going to add in a little more water so that it'll be 1 cup. So this is about 1 cup. And to this I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. And then in this I'm going to add in the cut up bracken or the eagle fern. So I also hate to waste this kombu kelp, so I'm going to cut these up and put it in here as well. So you might be wondering why I only added 1 cup of water instead of 1.2 cup of water, which is the amount we usually cook rice with. And that is because we cook with this bracken, this vegetable inside. And the vegetable will give out also water, so that's why 1 cup of water was enough for cooking rice. Then I'm gonna let this rest for about an hour and let the rice soak the water. So this has been soaking in water for about an hour now. I'm gonna start cooking this. And then I'm gonna turn the heat to high and wait until this comes to boil. So this has come to boil. I'm gonna give a light mix like this. And then put the lid back on and turn the heat to simmer. And cook and simmer for 10 more minutes. So this has been cooking for 10 minutes now in simmer. Then I'm going to turn the heat off and then let this rest for at least 10 minutes and let this steam on its own. So while we're waiting on the rice to be cooked, I'm going to make the other 2 dishes. In a pot, I'm going to put in 5 tablespoons of water. And then in this, I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, then 1 teaspoon of sugar, and then half a package of this 5 gram dashi, so 2.5 gram of dashi powder. If you don't have the dashi powder, or if you're a vegetarian, then you could skip this and then instead you could put in like kombu kelp, but just know that it won't be as savory as with the dashi powder. And then I'm going to turn the heat to high and bring this to boil. So once this has come to a boil, I'm going to put in cut up bracken or the eagle fern. And then turn the heat to low, and then cook in this dashi sauce for about 5 minutes in low heat. So it's been about 5 minutes. You don't want to overcook this, otherwise it just gets too soft and too soggy, and you don't want that. So I'm going to put this on a plate. Turn the heat off. So this is finished. And you can also put a little bit of bonito flakes on the top if you have them. So this actually tastes much better if you let it sit overnight, because the bracken will soak up all the good juice from the sauce. So you have time and patience, then you can try that as well. Then let's make the fried bracken. I'm going to turn the heat to high I'm gonna put some sesame oil. About 1 to 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. And then here I'm gonna put in the bottom part of the bracken. Then I'm gonna turn the heat to medium. Once this gets a little fried, then I'm gonna put the rest of the bracken. So once it's got good fried, I'm gonna put in a pinch of salt. Like that much. And at the very end, I'm gonna put in a couple drops of soy sauce, just to give it a little smoky flavor to it. And then this is finished. Turn the heat off. Then we got 2 dishes finished. And then the rice is looking also great. So you wanna mix it from the bottom. Then this is also finished. Let's go eat. Okay, let's eat. Itadakimasu. Oh, it smells really like spring. So if you're not used to this, this may be a little bit strange smell, but this is like really spring smell for me. Itadakimasu. So this bracken doesn't have a really strong, delicious flavor, but it's just like a really subtle, a little bit hint of bitterness, but a very subtle smell. And this just kind of reminds me of like being in the countryside, being in the wild, being in the woods, and being full of this spring green. So this is the bracken soaked in dashi sauce. Itadakimasu. So this bracken with the dashi sauce and a little bit of soy sauce, totally great. So this is the fried bracken. This is actually new for me. I never actually tried this. This is the first time trying. I saw this recipe on the internet and thought it might be nice to give it a try. Itadakimasu. This is actually very good. So I was a little bit afraid that it would be a bit too bitter because I didn't add that much flavor to it, just only salt and a little bit of soy sauce. But with this way, you can really taste the bracken. And it's actually really good. And this is a bit unusual for me because it's strictly vegetarian, almost vegan, but it's also nice to sometimes eat like this. By the way, one of the Japanese table manner is that if you have more than one dish, you're supposed to eat it like going back and forth. You're not supposed to eat one thing, finish it, and the next, finish that. And instead, you're supposed to go one rice, and then a little side dish, and the other dish, and then rice, and then you always go back to the rice. Just a little trivia in case you go to Japan someday. Really delicious. Oh, that was really delicious. ごちそうさまでした. Oh, that was delicious, and this is a really spring experience. And so I hope you give it a try. So inside of Japanese culture, inside of Japanese cuisine, it is crucial to be aware of the season, what is right in the season, because it comes from the Eastern medicine philosophy that whatever that grows in that season has the nutrients that your body needs for that time period. Especially in the spring, these bracken or horsetail, they take in all the plant energy in order to spring out these vegetables. They're thought to contain a lot of the energy, the nutrients that your body needs at this time of the year, where your body has to adjust to the changing of the temperature, where it gets cold and sometimes hot, some cold, warm, and that kind of thing. And I recommend you to give it a try. You can eat this bracken or eagle fern in different ways, like Western ways with cream sauce and whatnot, or in pasta or something. I think you can be very creative with this. I hope this video was informative for you. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button. I thank you very much for watching my video, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Bye!